Rodriguez on the dial alongside Avi Sharma, Shelby White back at our KSHQ studio. Cam Molina with you. We were about 6 minutes away from tip-off to begin the Pittsburg High School boys basketball game led by Kylie Rolfs and the Carthage Tigers for the second round of the 2018 Border Classic. Last time out, Kylie Rolfs' boys took care of business against Carl Junction, winning by 29 points, 62-33, and I think the theme of the night, Avi, was unselfishness by this Dragon team as the assists piled upon one another at a very frenetic pace.
And there's not one person that loves that more than Coach Ross himself, Cameron. It is all about the team, and that's how the team played last night, as they all, like you mentioned it, you're talking to Coach Ross. It was a wide open shot for Jarek Pitcher. He didn't want it. He passed it to his another guy so they can make a move and they can get at the shot. These guys are so unselfishness. It's great that it helps out the team and it builds that chemistry, which is something you've got to have.
Well, Coach Rolfs surprisingly has been very pleased with his defense as of late, especially yesterday against the Carl Junction Bulldogs. It always seems that he has one or two critiques, but the defense was splendid last night, again holding the Carl Junction Bulldogs to just 33 points and limiting Trent Smith and Will Beebe, two 6'6" and 6'7" forwards, down low in the post to just a combined 13 points. It was a great defensive effort personally between both Marquis English and Chase Curtis. And when I spoke with Coach Rolfs, I asked him, is this potentially the best complementary bunch you've seen between Curtis and English? Just English's wheelhouse and his ability to get inside the paint and then utilize and put on an exhibition with his repertoire of low post moves, and then Curtis's ability to be extremely intelligible as he is a cerebral player and be able to know where to be at the right time and grab boards. Just plays off each other so well, and he said, you know what, that's a perfect way to sum it up. They play off each other very, very well. They are complementary players, and he really can imagine one without the other.
Yeah, I think this is the best duo I've seen at Pittsburg High, because guess what, Cameron? It's the only duo I've seen since I called them last year. It is just incredible how both of them have grown from last year's juniors, and now look at them at seniors, leading their club to a great season so far. But it's not over yet, Cameron. They all want that ultimate goal where they want to go back to state and fight for that title.
Well, last time out for Steve Ray's Tigers, they won versus Atchison 61-46. The Redmen stumbling by 15 in that contest. And this is a very unique Tigers bunch as they have many diverse players. Alex Martini, a sophomore center, is about 6'7", has good range as he can stretch the floor. Brett Fullerton, a guy who can come out and shoot threes. And then between Ian O'Malley and Chase Johnson, there's two very smart upperclassmen guards. And Arkell Smith is really a renaissance man on the hardwood as he can commandeer the offense, take control when he needs to, take the reins however you want to articulate it. But he's so good being able to use his vision and utilize it at the best times too, and brings out the best out of all of his teammates. And with that, we will take a 2-minute break, come back with starting rotations and a couple more notes ahead of tonight's match between the Purple Dragons and Steve Ray's Carthage Tigers for Day 2 of the Border Classic here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Advanced technology, comprehensive quality care. That's Canar Eye Care. We have the newest technology, but we never lose sight of what's most important, our patients. Eye care has changed dramatically in recent years, and we've been there for you every step of the way. At Canar Eye Care, patients spend time with doctors. Total eye care, from contact lenses, including bifocal contacts, treatment of disease, and surgical co-management. Canar Eye Care, the clear choice.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on campus.
It's the knowledge that you've become part of something more.
We're a family of crimson and gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference.
Everybody wants to stand out.
Without standing apart.
You belong.
At Pittsburg State University.
What do you want from your bank?
Access to my account information on my phone.
Security, convenience, and friendly staff.
When I call, I want to speak with a real person.
I want it all. Low fees, low loan rates, and high deposit rates.
What if there was a place like this in your community? there is. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union, with locations in Pittsburg, Fort Scott, Independence, and Coffeyville, serving area residents since 1949.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
And we welcome you back to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7, about 30 seconds away from tip-off. Let's give you your starting lineups before the PA announcer goes over you and I, Avi. Caden I'm looking at the girls' starting lineups. Let me go to the boys' starting lineups. For the Purple Dragons will be Chase Curtis, Drew Rolfs, Gavin Elkamill, Marquis English, and Jarek Butcher. As for Steve Ray's Carthage Tigers, Arkell Smith, the senior, flanked by Ian O'Malley, Chase Johnson, Alex Martini, and Brett Fullerton. And to reiterate, yesterday the Tigers were able to trump the Redmen of Atchison 61-46. And I alluded to the fact that this team is unique, especially with their diversity on the court and just how multiple players can fill in at multiple positions, and Pittsburgh can match that, and they can counterattack very well. I think the key tonight for Pittsburgh is to continue to play with that unselfishness that they had last game and to focus on the defensive end, because what they did yesterday against Carl Junction was frustrate Smith and Will Beebe in the low post, force bad passes, and then use those turnovers to score easy points. And a lot of leak-outs turned into easy, simplistic lay-ins.
Yeah, I mean, Cameron, it's another story. Again, Beebe and Smith, 6'6", 6'7", huge athletes for Carl Junction. It didn't matter. PHS's big men, they stepped up and did their role. Now look at Carthage. They got another big guy themselves, Martini, 6'7". That is unbelievable. We kind of saw him play at the Webb City tournament on Saturday when we were way back when, and he looked like a heck of an athlete, so he is going to be something to look out for. But you mentioned it, this team has got talent all over, but the chemistry of PHS, the teamwork, and the never give up attitude by these guys are why they are who they are today.
Now this will come off long-winded, but when we spoke with Coach Rolfs yesterday, I posed a question to him. Gavin Elkamill, and you said it yesterday in the broadcast, have been struggling offensively, and I mentioned the fact that despite him struggling, he did not put himself in front of the team. He did not pout. He did not clap his hands together. He was very stoic. He made sure to play great defense and rebounds. He did all he can to keep his team in the matchup, and Coach Rolfs responded. Nowadays, we equate scoring to productivity, and that's not the case. Despite that, you would like to see Gavin Elkamill have a great scoring output today against a very tough Carthage team.
Absolutely. I'd love to see Gavin come back to the Gavin that I saw last year and a bit that we saw at the beginning of this year. It happens to everybody. The woes happens. But I've seen Gavin all year last year. He had a little bit of a slump. He shook out of it. The best thing about it, he's got leaders like Chase Curtis and Jarek Butcher is a unspoken hero by how much he steps up for the team and acts as the verbal guide and say, hey, we're okay, let's get back into it. Butcher's that kind of guy to get Elkamill back to where he needs to be.
A stuffed Pittsburgh High School gymnasium as fans looking upon Marquis English, as well as Alex Martini, Brett Fullerton, Chase Johnson, Ian O'Malley, and Arkell Smith for the Tigers, as English and Martini tip off and the Tigers win it. As in the front court of play, it will be O'Malley, rotates a right wing to Smith, who dumps it off back to the apex of the arc where Smith is at, rotates it to Fullerton left wing, who delivers a dart right back into the chest of Johnson. The senior rotates it right back out. O'Malley taking it slow as Rolfs will close out on him. Butcher defending Fullerton, who's a good sharpshooter. English defending Johnson right now, and English saying, I've got ball, in a very obnoxious manner, which forces the ball out of the midst of Johnson. Arkell Smith catches right block, awkward shot as he had to contort his body, no. And the Tigers are very methodical in their approach, did not want to force anything, but still a miss. Good defense by the Dragons, and in the front court, it's Elkamill who flips a pass back into the torso of Rolfs, who interchanges with Butcher. Butcher dribbles right hand, and we have some rotating action at the top of the key. Gavin Elkamo goes on the tap. Beautiful find as he slips a pass, threads it in between Martini and Smith to English, who capitalizes on a great feed from his teammate. Into enemy territory will be O'Malley, who is able to relocate a pass. Martini, left short corner with the sphere is Johnson as he tries to work away from Butcher. Now he'll cut away. Smith looks for a second, but Johnson still had Butcher trailing behind him. Left corner Fullerton. He fakes baseline, pulls up right-handed floater. No. English with his second rebound on the contest. English very active yesterday as he put on another 20-plus point performance. Right short corner, Elkamil in Tiger territory as the Dragons on your dial going right to left offensively, wearing their opal white home uniforms with purple numerals and lettering trimmed with black. And as for the Carthage Tigers, their blue-cladded selves with white numerals and lettering. English sells the up fake, blows by Martini, and then acrobatically moves past Arkell Smith for the underhanded right-hand ice cream scoop shot. Left corner with it right now is Johnson as his club trails by 4, 2 minutes into the ball game. Left corner with the sphere is O'Malley, the senior, as he brings it to his left tip after holstering the ball. He'll find Martini, who dive bombs into the lane, goes up right-handed. Smith battles down low. Fullerton comes up with the board. The first offensive rebound of the night by the Tigers. Martini is able to excavate the basketball from the hardwood, turns away and scores with the right hand as the sophomore enters the scorebook. Right short corner, English behind the back pass to Butcher. He had a good look from the right wing, just could not thread it through. Right corner, Elkamil following the offensive rebound by English attacks, and it was Elkamil who tiptoed out of bounds.
Bit of a different gym scenario here for us, Cameron, compared to the 2 games that we've had.
I agree. We were in the auxiliary gym for the girls' game as the Pittsburg High School girls basketball team down the West Pioneers 62-46, and a quick basket by Smith. Smith was able to slither into the key and score as Butcher's at the left wing. Pass fake as he brings the ball to his right ear, then above his head as he finds Elkamil at the point, delivers a twirling pass, a one-hopper to Curtis. Right block as Drew Rolfs receives a pass from Curtis and is able to sink the trifecta. He had a third quarter that featured 3 3-pointers yesterday against the Bulldogs. And then Butcher in transition raises his right hand, swats the basketball away as Johnson was open, left block. And it will be a Carthage inbound near baseline, which is purple with Pittsburgh spelt out across it. And it will be Johnson who scans. Following a box set, skips it over Fullerton, right wing, who steps into a 3, but then thinks better of shooting it. He just did a little quick head fake to try to get English to bite. Instead, it's Martini to Smith to O'Malley, right back to Johnson, who will rotate the ball to Smith. Jab step by Johnson to the left. He attacks. He has English on his hip, right-hand floater. And that was a grown man move. A very mature move by Johnson to muscle his way inside. English, right short corner deuce, snakes out. Arkell Smith with his first board of the contest. He looks, left wing, O'Malley, yes. And O'Malley is able to fire back against Rolfs 3. 9-7 the score, Dragons up 2. Butcher, one-arm sling pass with his right hand to Gavin Elkamo, who goes with the step back, right circle deuce, nearest the right elbow. He misses. Arkell Smith on the break, right hand as he sidesteps Butcher for the lay-in. Beautiful move by Arkell Smith. And we are at a tie ball game, 9 apiece. Scoreboard is currently wrong inside Pittsburg High School. Skip pass from the right corner by English, left corner, Elkamil. Curtis, left elbow, rotates it to English, who darts it right wing. With the rock right now is Rolfs. English catches it again at the apex of the arc. Working with the sphere right now, defended by O'Malley as Butcher, as Elkamil catches left wing. English posts up left block, looks low for Curtis, but instead he has Elkamil straight away 3 off the back iron, and Elkamil's struggles continue. Rolfs comes in with the offensive board. He does not finish, and then Martin is able to strip the ball out of the hands of English midair. Good rebound by Martini, his first of the night. As it's a slow-paced offense for this Carthage team, as Martini will flash up right block to right wing, has O'Malley. Arkell Smith catches right block and towards his body, added to his tab. It is now 11-9 as the Purple Dragons trail. Under 3 to go in this first quarter of play. Oh, excuse me, it's 13-7, I beg your pardon, as the Dragons trail by 6 at home. 2:58 remaining in the first quarter of play. And Coach Rolfs wants to use a timeout, a 6-point lead right now for the Carthage Tigers right now, and Steve Ray also talking with his boys. Just under 3 to go in the first quarter of action. And Avi, in this first quarter of play, we've seen a good approach by the Tigers, attacking inside and really whittling down this Pittsburg Dragon front.
I got to tell you, Cameron, Arkell Smith is quite the athlete. Man, what he is doing on the floor is just impressive. A heck of a senior, and got a couple head coaches from a couple universities here, as Coach Kim Anderson's here to check out what's going on.
He and his assistant coach, John Gilliam, also in the building to scout whoever it may be. A lot of talented players on display in all the matchups tonight. As Arkell Smith spins the ball once, takes another bounce of the basketball, sets at his nose, and scores.
Trenton Austin is in for Jarek Butcher.
Curtis will inbound near side baseline. He has English, who rotates it right back to Gavin Elkaville. He's trying to stave off a harassing Johnson. High ball screen set by Curtis, and then falling towards the far baseline as Elkaville goes in with a right-hand floater. It angles off the window and goes through. 14-9 to score. Dragons trail by 5. Right wing is Fullerton, who looks low. Right block. Martini's open. Ball purloined by Rolfs, who delivers a bullet pass. English Euro step goes up. Right hand inside on a travel. And Coach Rolfs said no way that is a travel. And the official far side said yes, it was. And the student section for the Dragons, decked out in purple attire, all jeering the official. 5-point deficit. Tigers up 14-9. 2:20 to go in the first. O'Malley dribbles with his right hand. Tries to go with a bounce pass that's tipped away. Trenton Austin comes up with the English power dribble, goes up right-handed. English is able to use the mistake made by O'Malley to score his 6th point of the night. 14-11 to score. Dragons up 3. Again, pressure at midcourt towards the far corner against O'Malley. Extremely hesitant. Tosses it off the shoe of English. It will remain Carthage basketball. Someone has to come help O'Malley, and if you are O'Malley, you have to be cognizant of that trap coming and dribble to the middle of the court. Fullerton, left wing, steps through, is able to kick out a pass, right short corner to Martini. Curtis reads it, slaps it away. Austin comes up with it. He'll slow down the cadence of the offense as he scoops it back into the chest of Elkaville. English, left wing 3 to the left of the iron, then takes a big hop. Fullerton is able to snag his 2nd rebound of the night. And picking up his dribble is O'Malley again. High post Fullerton, right wing Johnson sets his feet. 3, unable to swish it in. It goes off the back iron. Smith had it for a second. The Martini rips it away and flushes it with 2 hands. Martini 4 points, 2 rebounds. Good effort by he and Smith to keep the board alive. Rolfs thought about launching a 3, but he sheathes it, and it will be a pass to English, left corner. He attacks the short corner and scores. English already has put on the full display of his wheelhouse, and the toolbox is wide open. He's shot 4 or 5 from the floor, 8 points, 3 rebounds. Johnson finds Arkell Smith, a fadeaway, right elbow 2 is long. Austin with his first rebound of the night. Pull up, transition 3 by Rolfs, left wing, it goes over the basket. Butcher, as well as Javon Grant, the freshman for the Dragons, comes into the contest. Rolfs and Elkaville go to the bench. It'll be a far baseline inbound, left side of the basket for Arkell Smith as he looks, delivers a chest pass to O'Malley in the backcourt. Arkell Smith catches up as he darts in the backcourt and finds Fullerton right corner in the front court. Martini right elbow, delivers a beautiful chest pass to Arkell Smith. He goes up in traffic, and the entire Pittsburg High School fan base wants a held ball, and they're going to call it a foul on Jarek Butcher, as Butcher and I think English were both tied up with Smith as he went up. Smith, who's 1-1 from the stripe, will have 2 more free throws. Unable to sink his first, as it is to the right of the goal. An extremely energetic Pittsburg High School fan section. Smith settles down as he's sporting white Nikes with blue swooshes. Blue Nike Elite socks. He takes 2 dribbles near his right knee. He'll sit at the waist. Second free throw. Takes 2 hops off the rim. Pings off the window. Does not fall through as the ball is coveted by Curtis for his first rebound of the night. Left wing English. He tries to deliver a bounce pass to Austin, and there's a foul on the floor. O'Malley will pick up his first foul, and the team's first foul as well. 3-point lead for the Tigers. 30 seconds to go in the first frame. 16-13. Inbound by Butcher, right side of the goal. Near side baseline, skips it over the top of the defense. Rotated left corner. Butcher swings away from the defending O'Malley with 30 ticks to go. He interchanges with Javon Grant. Waist-high dribble for Grant as he crosses over, sizing up the recently subbed in Terrace Jackson. Jackson gets the ball out of the hand of Grant as Butcher controls it. 12 seconds to go. Coach Wolf barking out orders. Butcher catches it. Right wing from Grant. High ball screen set by Austin. Austin whips it. Curtis needs to get a shot off. 2 seconds left. Austin steps into a Hail Mary 3. Too strong. And at the end of one frame of action, it is the Tigers with a 16-13 lead over the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons. We are back with the top of the second right after this. You're listening to Homer Purple Dragon Athletics on ESPN 100.7.
Advanced technology, comprehensive quality care. That's Canar Eye Care. We have the newest technology, but we never lose sight of what's most important, our patients. Eye care has changed dramatically in recent years, and we've been there for you every step of the way. At Canar Eye Care, patients spend time with doctors. Total eye care from contact lenses, including bifocal contacts, treatment of disease, and surgical co-management. Canar Eye Care, the clear choice.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
3-point deficit on the scoreboard for the Purple Dragons, 16-13. The Carthage Tigers, who won against the Atchison Redmen yesterday, hold on to a lead in front of some college scouts, notably Kim Anderson and John Gilliam of Pittsburg State University. And Arkell Smith's talents have been on full display, 7 points and a rebound thus far, but Marquis English for the Dragons matching him with 8 points and 3 rebounds of his own. We have seen minimal effort from the rest of the Dragons bunch, as English, Elkamil, and Rolfs have been the only players to score for the Dragons thus far. So Curtis, Butcher, and the rest of the Dragons company looking to get back into the scoring mix. Butcher at the point, looks to the left block where Austin's at, will swing it around left corner. Elkamil, an offensive foul.
3 in the lane.
3 seconds in the lane, correction. English will defend Arkell Smith on the far side baseline inbound. English gets the better of Arkell Smith there, and then Trenton Austin receives a scoop pass from English, dive bombs through the lane, nearly flushes one on Smith, but Smith slaps the hand of Austin, and he will subsequently head to the free throw line. That is Smith's first foul and the team's second. So Trenton Austin yesterday with quite a good showing, 12 points and a rebound, season high in scoring. First free throw goes for Trenton Austin. He has a second one awaiting him as the official will deliver a one-hopper to him. He spins the ball at the waist, takes 2 dribbles, and flicks his wrist. That one goes. 2 of 2 from the stripe. Score 16-15. Dragons trail by 1. Johnson delivers a bounce pass to Martini, who wraps around and it's a turnover. Javon Grant was there with great help defense along the far short corner. Javon Grant mishandles the basketball, but he's able to squeak through a pass to English. Grant with the rebound, and the small man muscles up for a second opportunity. No, Trenton Austin grabs the offensive rebound, goes back up, draws the foul, +1. And a cathartic moment for Trenton Austin as he screams. 17-16, Dragons now with the advantage. And that is 2 on Smith now, and Coach Ray may think it wise to put Smith on the bench in a situation like this. Austin unable to convert the and one, but still good damage done to this Carthage team, not only on the scoreboard, but to their entirety of their players. Grant fighting for the basketball as he strips it away from O'Malley. Last touch by O'Malley, who has really struggled handling the sphere, and the freshman getting the better of the junior. Marcus Huntley will now enter the contest, the sophomore guard. is very agile. He played the Frontenac Raiders, another team native to Southeast Kansas, earlier this season in a victory, and Huntley did a good job against them. Elkamil will handle the rock. 17-16 is the score. Bounce pass left wing. Butcher, he raises his right hand and makes a thumbs up, and now the Dragons running a half-court set. Left wing, Butcher three off the back iron. It's loose. Elkamil comes up with it. He tries to weave inside, but it's swatted away by Martini on his attempt. Martini, good defense. He looks ahead in transition as the transition pass is to Johnson. Johnson misses, and a foul as English grabs the board, and it is on Martini. Martini with his first and the team's fourth. After fouling just once in the first quarter as a team, the Dragons really starting to make the Tigers work in this ball game. Jackson, good defense at midcourt as Austin breaks the half-court trap. Skip pass by English. Elkamil hesitates in the left corner, goes up. Martini read the floater perfectly and swatted it away. Sophomore v. sophomore, and the Tigers, young man, gets the better of Elkamil. Butcher to inbound, and it is a quasi-box set as Elkamil will flash out, receives a pass from English from the left corner. Catching it is Butcher right corner. Going up through traffic is Trenton Austin, and he scores, the sixth man off the bench for the Purple Dragons, leading the charge in this second quarter. Javon Grant steals the basketball, slides it back underhanded, much like a curveball in baseball, to English. He goes up two-handed and finishes off an easy conservative layup, but now it is a 21-16 lead, and the Dragons have run away with it in this second quarter of play, currently on an 8-0 run. The Tigers have a chance to talk it over. Just a 5-point contest, 6:17 to go in the half, and we are back in 30 seconds with your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
At Lindbergh Pharmacy, we care about your health. From a qualified and caring staff to services like our Time My Meds and MedPack programs, Lindbergh Pharmacy provides personalized service you can count on. Refill prescriptions online at lindberghpharmacy.com or on your smartphone with our free Lindbergh Pharmacy mobile app. You can also sign up for our Text Alert program, and we'll text or email you when your prescription is ready. Can't make it to us? We'll deliver your medications right to your door. Lindbergh Pharmacy, now 2 locations to serve you.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
The Dragons' full court press has wreaked havoc on the Carthage Tigers, but finally able to find a source of offense is O'Malley's. He finds Oscar Campa over the top of the Purple Dragons defense, and now the Tigers are going to respond with a full court press of their own. English has it, left wing, thought about testing out the waters from deep. Instead, he finds Elkamil. The ball will shirk off the back iron as Elkamil drops to 1 of 4 from the floor. Right wing is Javon Grant. He was a little irked following the miss. Arkell Smith with the board, looks on the break to an open Terrace Jackson, but the ball stripped away by Butcher. English Euro step goes right, left, and the right-hand layup on the left side of the goal goes. And a very fast pace from both sides as the cadence has not really been established, and the reason for the hectic style of basketball is because of the full court press from both sides. Smith skips it, left wing, and the 8-0 run was broken up by the lay-in by Campa. However, the Dragons still went on an 8-0 run, and they lead right now 23-18. Rolfs will sub in, as will Curtis for the Dragons. Butcher will come off the floor, and English too. And Coach Rolfs holding up his right hand, curling his fingers into a fist to initiate the half-court defensive set. Smith to inbound. He looks in the backcourt for O'Malley, but then finds Fullerton in the front court. Austin has to recover against Fullerton as the ball skipped from Smith to the left wing, where holding the sphere is O'Malley. His club trailing by 5 with 5 to go in the half. Fullerton flashes up right wing. O'Malley holding the ball way too long with Grant there. Grant comes out to defend O'Malley even further as the ball's rotated to Johnson. Johnson looking to get the ball out of his gloves. He finds Fullerton right wing, who goes with the sphere, tries to go with a hop step, but instead interchanges with Smith, who double clutches. Smith has a shot blocked by Trenton Austin, tracked down by O'Malley, and then Chase Curtis stands from underneath the basket, tried to take a charge, but it's called a block. Chase Curtis pinned for his first and the team's third. It'll be Ian O'Malley, the junior, going to the bench. He's 1 of 1 from deep thus far and is able to get his first free throw to clang home. Martini will check in for Campa. Johnson comes out, and Tucker Downing, the junior guard, will enter the ball game for the first time tonight in front of a crowd that is divided between dark blue and purple. O'Malley goes 2 for 2. Curtis finds Grant in the backcourt. He wants it to clear out, but there's a press waiting for him. Elkamil, who's a bit more of a experienced ball handler, gets it left wing, skips it to Austin, left corner, who reverses it right back. Austin, left corner, goes to the reverse right-handed lay-in, using the glass effectively for his third field goal make of the night. He's 3 of 3 from the floor, 8 points, 2 rebounds. The Dragons, speaking of which, out-rebounding the Tigers, 9-5, plus 4. Austin again with another block against Martini on the left block, and it was last touched by the Dragons, so the Tigers catching a break. English to come in, Grant to go to the bench, and a big set for the Purple Dragons. Austin showing the versatility, defending the 3. English and Curtis playing the 5 and 4 respectively. Smith catches, defended by Elkamil. He'll spin to his left. Left wing three-pointer by Downing. Shirks off the win. Martini forced backwards by Curtis in his strong body. After the Downing miss, in transition, it's Curtis, left corner, looks for Rolfs, who uncorks a trifecta. He is off kilter with his shot, and Rolfs drops to 1 of 3 from deep tonight, and nearly coming up with the steal in the backcourt is Curtis. Downing, flustered as he nearly turned it over. He tries to find an option. It's Smith, left wing, takes 2 steps through the key, floats it up right-handed, no. And it's Austin tracking down his third board of the night, following Arkel Smith dropping to 50% from the field on the night. 25-20 the score. Elkamil tries to go with a wraparound pass, but Fullerton jumps in front of Austin and makes contact with him. 15th foul committed by the Tigers, and it is the first on Fullerton. Excuse me, no foul call. I think it's kickball, and it is that. My view somewhat obstructed, so have to kind of assume what the foul is, but Elkamil will turn his back to O'Malley following the inbound. Johnson comes over to defend. Ball located to English left circle as he scans. Ball above his head, left short corner. Austin crosses over left to right. English sells the up fake, brings the ball to his chin, skips it over Rolfs. Elkamil right corner 3 is up. That one goes through. And Elkamil, who started 0 of 2 from deep, now goes 1 of 3. He is 2 of 5 from the floor. Dragons now up 8, 28-20. And in this second quarter, they have done great scoring, putting up a 15-4 margin. Ball stolen away by Curtis. Opposite end, Dragons on their dial, going right to left offensively. Curtis settles down momentarily at the left wing, fights inside of the key and draws contact. And it may have been a travel before, then a late travel call on Curtis in a turnover by Pittsburg High School. But the Dragons started the second quarter on an 8-0 run to take a 21-16 lead over the Tigers. And then later in this second quarter, to this point now, they hold an 8-point advantage, 28-20. They have been really effective spacing the floor, scoring in the post, and it all stems from the full court press. Right short corner, Fullerton sells the up fake, draws the foul against Austin. Austin's first, the team's fourth. And Fullerton will go to the line, shooting a pair. 2:30 to go in the half. Make sure to stick around for our halftime report, where we will be joined by Pittsburg High School girls basketball coach Chris Krotz. We will take a look at the first half of the boys game as well as statistics, as Grant will come in for Austin, who has done a sublime job giving the Dragons excellent minutes off the bench. 8 points, 3 rebounds. Fullerton's first free throw falls through. Fullerton, with his blue and white Nike, sets at his torso, flicks his wrist, easy, silky free throw. 2 points, 2 rebounds for Fullerton. 6-point contest, Dragons up 28-22. Javon Grant, who subbed in for Austin, receives a high ball screen from Curtis, doing a lot of dribbling. He's moving with a frenetic pace. He looks left block for Curtis. Left wing, Elkamil, quick trigger, trifecta, and that one shellacks through. Gavin Elkamil absolutely drove that one through the bottom of the net. English, Rolf, double teaming O'Malley, far side corner in the backcourt. Skip past Fullerton, open, and that's the price you pay against an experienced team like the Tiger. They were frazzled early on, but able to snap the full court press with a great over the top of the defense play to Fullerton, who has now twice scored off of that. Elkamil goes behind the back, trying to get Jackson to slip up. Bounce past Curtis against the smaller Johnson. Right back to Elkamil. He's fielding at 3. Nearly going back-to-back Martini Skies for the rebound. Martini now with 3 boards in the contest. 4 points to his name. 2 Fullerton again in transition. Shields the ball with the left side of his body as Elkamil came over to the fin, and he's able to score. Good acrobatic layup by Fullerton. Right short corner. English loses it. Last touched by Martini of the Tigers. 31-26 is the score. Tigers trail by 5 with $1:20 left in the half. Rolfs raises his right hand and puts 3 fingers up. It's a box set, cross screen set by Elkamil. Curtis frees up to the near side block. Elkamil has it. Far wing attacks, draws a foul. The shot spun around on the left side of the orange and fell out. So it will be on the floor. So Johnson commits his first for the Tigers. Their 5th. English, far side circle, rotates. It has Elkamil. Javon Grant, who jabs left and travels. 1:11 to go in the half. 31-26 is the score. Curtis and company making their way back slowly, and it looks like they're calling off the Dogs for now as it will be a side out. Arkell Smith subs in. He has 2 fouls. Jackson goes to the bench. Arkell Smith looks with his long sleeve blue t-shirt underneath his uniform, finds O'Malley in the backcourt, 3/4 court in, as he crosses over right to left in front of Grant, left wing Smith, as he forks it over left corner, a travel by Fullerton, and he stepped, then dribbled. And the official saw it immediately, and Fullerton was a bit skeptical of it, but Jackson will check in. And I think Smith comes right back out, and he does. 1 minute to go in the half. 5-point lead for the Dragons. Butcher listening to the cheers from the Pittsburg High School fan section. Receives a high ball screen from English. O'Malley nearly stumbles. Gavin Elkamil flashes up. A gamble by Jackson. Elkamil an unabated 3. No, but English is able to tip it back in. Marquis English has shot very efficiently tonight. An economical 7 and 8 from the floor. 5 rebounds. And Gavin Elkamil drops down to 40% from deep to a 5. O'Malley, right wing, will now sink to the right corner, and he is able to can through the trifecta. O'Malley, no hesitation with the 3. And that is a brave man as there were 24 seconds left on the game clock, and decided to shoot it fast instead of holding for a last-second shot. 33-29 is the score. 4-point lead for the Dragons. Butcher receives the sphere from Rolfs. 10 seconds to go. English catches, left elbow, sizes up Martini, dribbles right hand, tough follow-away, and sinks it. A beautiful shot by Marquis English in a brilliant first half, and that will end the first half of play. Marquis English with 16 of the team's 35 points, but Gavin Elkamil has also uplifted the Dragons with 8 of his own. Pittsburg High School shooting 3 of 10 from deep and out-rebounding the Tigers 12-6 at Carthage. Struggled late in the second quarter of play. We'll get more into that with our halftime report as we will be joined by Pittsburg High School girl basketball coach Chris Kratz. We'll have a look at the first half stats as well as a look into the second half of play. You're listening to the home of Purple Dragon Athletics on ESPN 100.7.
The true test of a great insurance agency comes when you suffer a loss. It's easy to take your premiums, but Ray Ryan of Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh knows that handling your claim is the most important service an insured needs.
Claim is our chance to let the customer know that we'll be out there, not just that we sold them a policy, we'll also be there when a claim occurs to make sure it gets handled in an honest,
Headquartered in Richmond, Kansas, QSI Quality Structures Incorporated specializes in designing and building complete post-frame buildings. We provide structures built to withstand a 30-pound ground snow load and a 90-mile-per-hour wind shear built to the most stringent codes. Whether you need a garage, agricultural building, commercial facility, or custom-built design, we're your one-stop shop for post-frame buildings. QSI. Everything we do is right on cue.
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on campus.
It's the knowledge that you become part of something more.
We're a family of Crimson and Gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference.
Everybody wants to stand out.
without standing apart.
You belong
At Pittsburg State University.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
And we welcome you back to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. Whether you are listening on the dial or on ESPN's 100.7 website at ESPN100.7.com. Avi Sharma, Shelby White back at our KSHQ studio. Cam Molina with you. At intermission, the Pittsburg High School boys basketball team leads Steve Ray's Carthage Tigers 35-29. Before we delve into the specifics of that matchup, let's go back to earlier tonight as the Pittsburg High School girls basketball team topped Marcus Myers in the West Pioneer 62-46. We are joined by the Purple Dragons girls basketball coach, Chris Krotz. Coach, early on it just seemed that there was no flow to the action, but you head into the third quarter, and what a sublime third quarter it was. You outscored the Pioneers 19-7, a drastic change from yesterday.
We kind of came out flat today, and we didn't have a lot of rhythm with what we did. Not really a whole lot of focus or intensity, none of that good stuff. And over halftime we talked about more effort, and I kind of let my seniors rally the troops, and they came out a completely different team, much more intense, much more focused, took care of the ball, and much better result.
Abby Casper, season high 19 points. I know you talked about just a second ago the seniors taking over. What did you see from her tonight?
I thought she was more aggressive. I thought she looked for her shot more, and she needed to. There was not a whole lot of offensive continuity going on, and I saw 3 or 4 times where Abby just kind of saw a gap in the defense, and she drove right in there and pulled up and hit some jumpers, and just saw a lot of assertiveness from Abby today, and was really proud of the way she played.
Coach, some of your younger players also making an impact. Your bench players more specifically getting more time this season. Ella Hendrickson, Cassidy Odell coming off an illness prior to Christmas break. Zoe Pinamani all contributed very well tonight. Combined, they had 9 points off the bench. Can you touch on how proud you are of the bench showing out in some very vital moments?
Oh, yeah. We dealt with some foul trouble with our post players, and then Madden Petty got in foul trouble. So we really had to rely on our bench. And, you don't always expect your bench to maybe pull away with the lead or anything like that, but you expect your bench to be able to come in and hold down fort and play good defense, and they did that, and on top of that, they had 9 points, and they played really well for us.
Well, Coach, it's not in the winner's bracket, but you are advancing to the consolation bracket championship game against Blue Valley Northwest. How do you instill in your girls this is still a big moment and a big time to illustrate that they're a team that can really shine in the SEK and that belongs in that particular situation?
I just think that, going into it, knowing that we could go through this tournament with just 1 loss, and then that loss being a 3-point loss, I think that that's motivation there. I also think just, anytime you lace them up and you go out on the court, you should be motivated and ready to compete. And I'm expecting that our girls will feel the same way and come out tomorrow to finish out 3 days here, ready to go.
Well, Coach, I appreciate the time and congratulations on the victory.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Once again, that was the Pittsburg High School girls basketball coach, Chris Krotz. He and his girls earning their 4th victory of the season, advancing to 4-7 on the year, topping Marcus Myers' West Pioneers. Final score 62-46. Let's turn our attention back to this contest, as right now it is 35-29, and the Purple Dragons boys basketball team holding a slight 6-point advantage over the Carthage Tigers. Obviously, we saw in the second quarter a huge turnaround for the Dragons compared to the first quarter, where they seemed really discombobulated. The shifts defensively were not there. Arkell Smith had any open shot he wanted, but in the second quarter, the help defense was there. The Dragons looked more towards the post, and that opened up a lot of the exterior game, and we talked about it during the girls' broadcast, and it's kind of funny how the outside shot opens the inside, but in the same respect, the inside opens the outside, and as the Tigers have collapsed defensively, it's left guys like Rolfs and Elkamil open to shoot deep threes.
Cameron, one thing I got to say that's really impressing me is the bench for PHS. Grant and Austin have had huge minutes so far in this game, and that has been the big factor as the bench for Carthage has actually been struggling when they get on here. And whenever that pressure is being applied on the full court press, these guys are having a tough time getting it because then little speedy demons like Grant get the steal and then they get the passes open.
Let's quickly go through the statistics of the first half. Chase Curtis, just 2 rebounds, 1 foul. A rare first half for him in terms of the lack of productivity. Javon Grant with a rebound, 2 steals, 0 of 2 from the floor. But as you said, defensively, he has been pestering O'Malley and Johnson on the wings, giving good minutes off the bench. Drew Rolfs, 3 points, 1 of 4 from the floor, 1 of 3 from deep, including a rebound. Gavin Elkamil, 8 points. He has shot 3 of 7 tonight as he's been spoon-fed passes. He's been wide open, and he's been able to capitalize. But you and I talked about it in our pregame, how he felt this was a time for Elkamil to really step up, and he did that through the first half of play. English, 16 points, 5 rebounds in front of some college scouts. And Trenton Austin, 8 points, 3 rebounds. And you mentioned it, good minutes off the bench. 7 points for Arkell Smith, and again, another talented player who in the second quarter struggled slightly, but will make adjustments. And Coach Steve Ray, a very talented coach, and I'm sure his perspicacious nature will bleed into his guys, and they'll be smarter in the third quarter of play. Ian O'Malley, 8 points, 2 points for Chase Johnson, 4 points for Alex Martini, and 3 rebounds. 6 points for Brett Fullerton and 2 boards. The biggest stat that stands out to me through the first half, the rebounding differential. The Dragons are going to win that battle most of the time, but it's still +6 as Martini and Smith has struggled against both English and Curtis. And with that, a 2-minute commercial break. We will be back with the beginning of the third quarter of play. Dragons up 6, 35-29 in day 2 of the 2018 Border Classic.
Does your current checking account pay you up to $15 per month? With Common Sense Checking at University Bank, you can earn up to $15 per statement cycle, 10 cents for each swipe after the first 15 swipes. Qualifying is so easy. Simply have 1 direct deposit or auto payment plus 15 debit card purchases each statement cycle and a $100 opening deposit. Stop by the bank for more information about our Common Sense Checking. Then swipe and save. It's convenience that pays at University Bank. Branch GMB, member FDIC.
What do you want from your bank?
Access to my account information on my phone.
Security, convenience, and friendly staff.
When I call, I want to speak with a real person.
I want it all. Low fees, low loan rates, and high deposit rates.
What if there was a place like this in your community? There is. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union, with locations in Pittsburg, Fort Scott, Independence, and Coffeyville, serving area residents since 1949.
Headquartered in Richmond, Kansas, QSI Quality Structures Incorporated specializes in designing and building complete post-frame buildings. We provide structures built to withstand a 30-pound ground snow load and a 90-mile-per-hour wind shear built to the most stringent codes. Whether you need a garage, agricultural building, commercial facility, or custom-built design, we're your one-stop shop for post-frame buildings. QSI. Everything we do is right on cue.
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on campus.
It's the knowledge that you become part of something more.
We're a family of crimson and gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference.
Everybody wants to stand out.
Without standing apart.
You belong.
At Pittsburg State University.
And we welcome you back to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. As we begin the third quarter of action, the Dragons lead by 6 in front of a jam-packed main gymnasium inside the confines. The home of the Purple Dragons. Avi Sharma, Shelby White, Cam Molina with you. Martini catches right block from Johnson as Coach Ray wants to attack down low early, and it is a foul on Curtis. The team's first, no, it will be a foul on English. Regardless, it's his second, and the team's first, 35 29 the score. The Dragons leading as they've knocked down one more three than the Tigers, but the Tigers done a good job exploiting the free throw line. 5 of 7 from the stripe thus far. The Dragons have yet to attempt a shot from the bar yet. Smith, left wing three. That one rattles out, but then gets a healthy Tiger roll off the window and drops through. Smith up to 10 in the contest. First Tiger to reach the double-digit echelon. Elkamil jabs to the right with the ball holstered to his left hip. Rolfs will catch left wing and then dribble back to the point. Takes 3 steps away from the top of the arc. Finds Elkamil once again left wing. And some high-low action. English will flash up to the high post, then to the top of the arc. Curtis is at the left block. Rolfs catches it. Curtis flashes. Right block. Power dribble. Goes up and scores. And that's the strength of Chase Curtis, reading where the ball is at and knowing when to make appropriate cuts. 5-point lead for the Dragons. Once again, right wing Johnson. Flaring up to the point is Fullerton. He's bumped back by Elkamil. No foul. Curtis will come to help defensively as Butcher plays a little bit of Matador defense, allowing Johnson to attack. Wraparound bounce pass to Brett Fullerton, who's able to lay it in. Rolfs, left wing, tries to go with the one hopper, but it's kicked away. 6:47 left in the third frame of action. 37-34 the score. The Dragons up a trifecta. Elkamil bleeds deeper into the front court, but English will catch just outside the left block. He rips through, steps through, and scores. Martini, who has a wiry frame and arms that seem to go on for days, almost swatted the shot away. But again, as I said in the first half, an economical night for English. He's 9 of 10 shooting, 18 points, 5 boards. O'Malley awaits a high ball screen, but Curtis there trying to poke the ball away from Martini, who caught it above his head, but the 6'8" height just too much for Curtis to handle. And a charge. Curtis received a big lowered shoulder from Martini, who barreled over him, and then Curtis, with not so much of an amicable sign, lowered his shoulder right back into Martini at midcourt. I don't think the official saw that, but Curtis letting Martini know that he's there. And you need that guy who's a bit strong and shows that grit and determination. Left wing, Rolfs catches, will take a contested three. Back on Rolfs. After shooting the three, we'll have Curtis, who jumps for a 50-50 ball. He and Smith tangled up. And it's a held ball. Purple Dragon will maintain their hold of the sphere. And Rolfs drops to 1 of 5 shooting on the night as the Purple Dragon fan section, cladded in purple, shouting at the top of their lungs. Butcher to inbound. It's a stacked set on the right block. English at the point. Butcher looks, has Rolf at the point. They were trying to get it to English for an easy basket. That was their first option, but ultimately Elkamil has it. Johnson on his left hit, and a good look by Elkamil to create something out of nothing. Help defense by Martini. Sprung Curtis loose, and Chase was just able to lay it in easily. Elkamil, that versatility offensively, big. Smith goes left wing and is fouled by English. That is 3 on Marquis English, but it may have been smarter of English, a senior, to allow the layup to go unabated, because now you have 3. You are your team's leading scorer, leading 41-34. It's a 7-point advantage, but the Tigers can flip the script at any time as Trenton Austin is set to check in. He is a good backup to English/Curtis, but he still does not have the move pool that English has. And we probably will not see English back out on the hardwood until the fourth quarter of action, as the first free throw goes for Arkell Smith, who now has 11, 2 of 4 shooting from the line. Here's his 5th attempt as he takes one dribble, sets at the waist. No. 2 of 5 from the line on the night as Austin dribbles left-handed. The sphere now in his right mid as he scoops it backwards to Butcher. Nearest the right wing, but closer to midcourt. And near the prime meridian, Butcher still is. He has O'Malley draped all over him, and he tries to deliver a long bullet pass to a curling Curtis from the right corner as he attacked baseline. And it's a turnover. O'Malley and company just down 6, 5:30 left in the third, and I think what they are going to try to do, the Tigers that is try to exploit Austin as best as possible with Fullerton, who's really quick. Smith catches it, far side block, steps through. Butcher on his heels for a moment, but good job recovering. Smith goes with the wraparound pass, stolen away, but luckily enough, Johnson's there for the recovery. Spins, has Austin on his rear end, and scores. Good move by Johnson, not just settling for the quick putback. Left block, there he is again. It's Drew Rolfs. Rolfs now 2 of 6 from the floor tonight, and a steal by Elkamil off the inbound from Smith, and Elkamil now hits double figures. And now into enemy territory is Johnson for the Tigers. Left wing Smith, he has Martini, but it's swatted away by Curtis as he read the pass from behind. Darting inside Johnson, an awkward right-handed layup is no good. Johnson missing his first shot of the night. Skip pass to Trenton Austin from Chase Curtis, and it goes out of bounds. A turnover by the Dragon, and a lot of unforced errors by the Dragons. You take some of those away, and it's close to a 16-17 point ball game. 45-37 the score. The Dragons lead it by 8 with 4:20 left in the frame. Smith darts a pass over left wing. Johnson, uncontested trifecta, saucers out. Curtis and Elkamil bump into each other, but it's Elkamil who grapples the rebound. Johnson drops back-to-back shots, and English will go inside, trying to strong-arm his way to the rim, and Fullerton commits the foul. Correction, it's Johnson who commits the foul. That is the second team foul committed by the Tigers, second on Johnson, in what has been an extremely entertaining game. Minimal mistakes from both sides. I think that is what makes it the most fun. Both teams playing a very crisp brand of basketball as Curtis catches it, left block, Smith defends. Smith sold on the up fake. Curtis goes into Smith, no foul, but Curtis misses the shot, swatted away by Martini. Purple Dragon basketball, and inbound to the right of the backboard, near baseline for for Butcher as he looks to Curtis on the inbound. Martini comes out to defend as it's rotated to Elkamil. Butcher, right corner, power dribble, Austin, right block, and he double clutches midair as Arkell Smith defended the attempt well and is able to score still. Trenton Austin late on the closeout on Fullerton, but a serendipitous miss for Austin. Fullerton, his first three-pointer off kilter as Butcher on the break goes right wing as Javon Grant for the Dragons set to check in. Grant muscles inside, past Martini and scores. And how about Trenton Austin? 12 points, 3 rebounds, matching his score total from last night, and is +2 in the rebounding margin compared to the matchup against the Bulldogs last night. Martini catches right block, and a block by Austin from the weak side. Rolfs on the break, twirls away from Johnson, 3 to go in the third. And it's Butcher catching the ball chin level. Elkamil catches it left wing. Austin posting up. Curtis catches it at the point. Smith about 5 steps away from him at the free throw line. Butcher comes up, straight away 3. Off the back iron, but Curtis with the offensive rebound. Rolfs, second chance, no. Arkell Smith with the offensive rebound and a foul on Curtis. 2 on Chase Curtis. Third team foul committed by the Dragons. Good looks for the Dragons, however, despite both misses. And PHS drops to 3 of 13 from deep. It's not as if these are ill-advised shot, Avi. It's just misses right now and a cold streak from deep currently. O'Malley defended by Rolfs, who is sporting a left calf sleeve. Pass scooped over from O'Malley to Smith. Smith scans, he looked left corner where O'Malley was, then O'Malley flared back to the point. Martini catches right short corner. He's not effective there, but Johnson receives a skip pass from the 6'8 sophomore, right back to the recently subbed in Tucker Downing. The junior guard works it to O'Malley, and fighting against Grant is Johnson, and Coach Rolfs shouting out help because Johnson has a little bit of a size advantage on Grant. Johnson right wing, this is where Grant thrives on the perimeter. Downing thought about taking the straightaway 3, but he reverses out, a smart move. Ball ripped in front of the face of O'Malley. 49-37 to score. Dragons up 12, under 2 to go in the third. Beeline pass, right wing, O'Malley, the sharpshooter, swats it in. And O'Malley now 3 of 3 from deep, and a timeout used by Coach Ray as he brings it back within single digits. 49-40. O'Malley and company 4 of 7 from deep, currently outplaying the Dragons when it comes to downtown performances. Again, a 9-point lead for the Dragons. We are back in 30 seconds with the last 2 minutes of the third here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
If you want to improve your basketball skill set, you need to attend one of the Lane Lord basketball camps. Each camper receives individual attention and specific coaching adapted to age and skill level. There's something for everyone. A grade school camp for girls entering 3rd through 8th grade, a high school team camp available on 2 different weekends with both varsity and JV levels of competition, plus satellite camps throughout the summer. All campers receive instruction from head coach Lane Lord, head assistant Amanda David, along with former and current players. For more information, visit them online at LaneLordBballCamps.com. Coach Lord and Coach David have seen tremendous success over the past several years, and they begin their recruiting at these camps, with over 20 former campers being signed. Visit LaneLordBballCamps.com.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
The cerulean-colored outfitted Tigers trailed the Dragons 49-40 with under 2 to go in the third. Butcher delivers a pass to the freshman Grant for the Purple Dragons in the backcourt, and the Dragons on your dial moving offensively left to right, nearly a backcourt violation. Butcher, luckily enough, has a little bit of range with those arms as he reached back, grappled it, but then Javon Grant was bumped and lost it. O'Malley now with the sphere in front of a horde of Tigers fans sitting in purple plastic seats adjacent to where the Purple Dragon fan base is at. Smith, near side of the court, has a right wing, will attack and locate it to Johnson, who swirls inside but misses the floater. Johnson drops 3 straight now as he is 2 of 5 shooting on the night. Grant catches right corner. Trenton Austin working baseline as it is a small ball set, if you will, for the Dragons right now. Trenton Austin, tallest player on the floor for Pittsburg High School. Under 60 to go, Austin catches right corner. It's more of a 4-out, 1-in set, kind of a hybrid of it as Rolfs catches right corner, looks low for Austin, near side block, skip, Elkamil, left wing 3, drains it. Elkamil, 3 of 6 from downtown, 13 points, and a bounce-back effort following last night's underwhelming performance. At the point, Johnson, and from the apex of the arc, he'll take one dribble to his right, find Downing. Martini is posting up, but Martini 6'8" high and has not been effective against the strength of Curtis, Austin, and English. And Martini has just been bullied outside of the paint time and time again, and there's no height to really no other height on the Tigers team to complement him and take some of the heat away from him. Curtis will now D up Martini, and he has been all over Martini tonight, blanketed. Johnson defended by Austin. Smith looks for a curling O'Malley. Left-hand finish. Excellent execution by the Tigers. Smith picks up his 3rd assist of the night. Rolfs, left wing, tried to catch the basketball. Johnson tipped it away, but the official saying Rolfs got a fingertip on it as the ball was midair. Tiger basketball, 9.4 seconds to go. Dragons up 10, 52-42. O'Malley, 5 seconds, needs to go now. 4 seconds, 3, Smith, and a backcourt violation. So with 2.4 seconds to go, and a far side out in front of Kim Anderson, head men's, let me refrain from that, head men's basketball coach of the Pittsburg State University Gorillas staring on. Let's see what the Dragons do here. English back out on the floor with 3 fouls. I would imagine it's going to have to be a quick inbounds down lower. It's going to be a 3, one or the other. Butcher, a far side out, just to the left of Coach Anderson. Butcher does not slap the leather, has the ball above his head. Rolf catches, has to get it off now. 2-1 up. I think it was off in time, but short. The Rolfs hesitated for a good second and a half, and at that point, the quarter was over. 52-42. We head into the final frame of play between 2 top teams in the Southwest Missouri and Southeast Kansas area, and it's been a really fun matchup during day 2 of the Border Classic here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7, back in 30 seconds.
What does it take to have a truly positive reputation? At Vogel Heating and Cooling, we know reputation is earned by consistent performance, by serving our customers' best interest, by providing top-quality, energy-efficient ream equipment and service for Southeast Kansas homeowners. Vogel Heating and Cooling is a Ream Factory authorized dealer and has been serving the area for over 20 years. Turn to the experts. Turn to Vogel Heating and Cooling.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
This has been a game that was close at the beginning, but the lead has slowly built up as we head into the 4th quarter of play between the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons and the Carthage Tigers. Tigers led by 3 after 1, then trailed by 6 at the break, and now down 10 heading into the 3rd. It's not as if the situation has exacerbated for Steve Ray's Tigers. It's just been more so crisp passes, good shot making, and tough defense by the Dragons, and the Carthage Tigers just not having the firepower or the bench to keep up with a very explosive Class 5A team in the state of Kansas. The Class 4 team of the Tigers in the COC Conference against some tough opponents themselves. We start the fourth quarter of play. Smith turns it over. It's English who forces the turnover along the left boundary. Butcher catches right wing, up fake by Elkamil, right corner, 2 head fakes, then takes the 3, and ill-advised shot by English. Bails him out with the offensive rebound, goes back to the basket, steps through, misses the point-blank range shot. Good defense by Martini. He deters it, so back-to-back misses. Following back-to-back offensive rebounds by English, and then Drew Rolfs trying to track down Johnson, who goes up through traffic, and Rolfs picks up his foul. The first on Rolfs, and the team's fourth. So Johnson to the stripe. The Tigers have shot 6 of 9 from the bar today compared to 2 of 2 for the Dragons. The first free throw goes for Johnson. Coach Rolfe saying we need to transition to power, relaying what set needs to be run offensively this time out as Johnson knocks down a pair. Butcher's in the backcourt, swings it right back to Curtis, who rotates it in the backcourt to Elkamil, who receives the double team. Elkamil in traffic, kicks it out right corner 3. Rolfs, he is still struggling. He started 1 of 2 from deep, but has missed his last 4. Smith darts it left corner. Fullerton chests the ball, now chins it. English read it, slapped it away as O'Malley and he fought for possession. It will be in the favor of the Tigers. 7 to go in the fourth. 52-44 the score. Definitely anybody's ball game with the way this contest has gone from start up until 7 minutes left in the fourth. Catching at the point is Fullerton. He curls, right elbow, right hand floater, does not fall. English brings the ball above his head as he's able to snare the board. No pressure in the backcourt from the Tigers as Elkamil will canter past the timeline. Left wing with it is Butcher. Butcher brings it to his forehead. English flashes up to the high post and a little bit of high-low action. English will now set a high ball screen for Elkamil. That's a little bit of 4 out, 1 in. Right corner, Rolf sells the up fake following the jump stop. Elkamil does another head fake in the right corner as he and Rolfs play a little bit of 2-man action. English ropes it out, right wing, right corner 3 for Elkamil, goes up and down. Elkamil, 4 points, or excuse me, 4 of 7 from deep for 16 points as Smith slides inside of the key and a foul on his way to the basket. And if it's on English, it's his 4th. It will be Curtis instead, so a sigh of relief for Coach Rolfs. 3 on Curtis. He and English with similar amounts of fouls. It's an 11-point ball game. Dragons lead at 55-44. Smith goes to the line, takes 2 dribble nearest his right leg and shoots his first shot. No, and he's a bit frustrated as he imagines a table in front of him and air pounds his fist to said table. Smith now 2 of 6 from the stripe, his 7th offering. Before he shoots, sets at his belly button, flicks his wrist, and it's good. He's 3 of 7 from the stripe, 12 points, 2 rebounds. Curtis gets it in the backcourt to Rolf. Pressure coming immediately from Fullerton. Rolfs being funneled to his right, but a good read not to dribble into Johnson. He finds Curtis, who finds Butcher in the front court. Elkamil working with it, goes behind the back in front of Johnson, nearly travels. English is able to scrape up the basketball off the floor from Elkamil. Finds Butcher, back to English, right wing is Rolfs. Curtis brings the ball above his forehead, and then Rolfs positions the ball to his left hip, goes triple threat, takes 2 dribbles backwards, finds Elkamil, ball nearly poked out from behind by Fullerton. Double team against English, right block, and then Elkamil says, please leave me open, but the 3-pointer doesn't fall. He's 4 of 8 from downtown, and again, 16 points on the night, 5:30 left in the contest. And it's a 10-point game as Smith quickly whips it right corner. Fullerton chests it, brings it over to Johnson, who pulls up inside the right circle and drills it and falls down in the process. Johnson hitting probably one of the most difficult shots in basketball, coming off a high ball screen, setting his feet and popping the deep 2 from about 16 feet away. Elkamil. Chest pass to English. He goes off the dribble, but the ball's purloined. Fullerton ahead. Fullestein. He chugs ahead. Right circle goes up. It's blocked by English, but a late foul is called. 55-47 the score. Dragons lead it, and it will be Fullerton going to the stripe. He's currently 2 of 2 from the free throw line. He has a chance to go 2 of 2 once again and hit the double-digit mark on the night. And now the officials polling in all the players, and they have a sense of chippiness. And their spidey senses tingling. They bring the players in and said, let's be clean, let's be amicable, let's not be disingenuous tonight, as the first free throw does not go for Fullerton. We have seen a little bit of that chippiness tonight, Avi. I know one time I pointed out Curtis bumping into Martini. I mean, you want a guy like that can exude his mentality and his force in the game, as the second free throw does not go for Fullerton, but a rebound by Martini, and he puts it through. Martini, who has been pretty quiet tonight on the offensive end, now has 6 points, 5 rebounds. Rolfs in the backcourt. A jump pass that is stolen by Martini. A one-hand pass to Fullerton. The leak out, left hand, no. Rebound by Smith. Johnson, left wing, open. Slacks it in. The left wing three pays off big, as it's a 3-point ball game, 55-52. The Dragons feeling the pressure of the full court press, and a timeout used by Coach Rolfs. And the 3-point contest weighing down on a lot of these Dragon players. Pittsburg High School led by 10 after 3, and we are within 3 in the fourth quarter with 4:30 to go. And Avi, we've seen, as we discussed just a few seconds ago, a very chippy game, but you like that chippiness. You like that mentality, that we're not going to back down mentality, and exuding one's force over the other, but the Tigers not backing down in the second round of the 2018 Border Classic against the hometown Dragons.
I think the chippiness is perfectly fine, Cameron. It's what sparks the next thing to happen. You know, I think it could rejuvenate a team, and that's exactly what it's doing for Carthage right now. They're gaining the momentum as we speak. Turnovers are starting to happen for PHS after all of a sudden PHS had the momentum and it's gone. So this was a great timeout by Coach Rolfs. Get his team back together, get that half-court offense going again, and add back to that lead, because you got to look out. Carthage has got some deadly shooters out there.
And they do. Ian O'Malley, 3 of 3. Chase Johnson, 1 of 2. Arkell Smith, 1 of 1 from deep as a unit, 5 of 8, compared to the 5 of 17 from the Dragons. That is a 62 to 29% differential. The only difference that is really shown on the score sheet outside of that is the rebounding and the free throws. Right now, a +7 advantage from the stripe for the Pittsburg High Purple Dragons, as English resumes play from the left wing, tries to find Butcher, but it's slapped away by Smith. It will remain Dragon basketball with under 4:30 to go. But a +7 margin in make by the Tigers, and then +7 on the glass for the Purple Dragons, including a lot of second chance opportunities. Inbound by Butcher, right side of the goal, near baseline. He scans, had Curtis. Needs to get it off before the 5-second call. English with long range, reaches back and reels it in, and then scoops it back to Elkamil. A bailout pass and catch for Butcher. Elkamil, left wing, brings the ball to his navel, and then he has an open Curtis at the apex of the arc. Rolfs catches it right wing, finds English, who scores for his 20th point of the night. He is 10 of 12 shooting, attacking left short corner. Fullerton as he contorts his body for the basket. So a quick fire back shot by Fullerton, 57-54 the score, and the Tigers not going the way in a pestering fashion. Elkamil, a right-handed sling pass to Butcher. Curtis free throw line, right back to the high post. Elkamil catches right short corner, then to English, to Curtis, and Curtis scores. Pressure in the backcourt, stolen away by Rolfs. Elkamil goes up left-handed short. Smith comes up with it, but Curtis purloins it away, and he falls out of bounds. It will be Tiger basketball, but a big turnover that was not capitalized on by PHS. 5-point lead for the Dragons, 59-54. Smith on the inbounds. Hazine O'Malley, who delivers a parcel left wing to Johnson, who now will enter the front court. And no real reason to rush. I know you're down, but you do not want to allow the Dragons to come back in. Left wing, Fullerton for the tie. Air ball, and Fullerton mishandled the basketball on the shot, and the air ball jeers rain down from the student section. English lowers his shoulder, goes into Martini, but Martini, great defense as English drops to 10 of 13 on the night from inside the horseshoe. Left wing, Smith will attack, percolates inside the left circle to Fullerton, right wing. Johnson pulls up right elbow deuce, swirls out, rebound by Elkamil. Elkamil, 16 points, 2 boards. Elkamil takes his time as Coach Rolfs wants to execute the play power. And I think that's kind of the 4-out, 1-in set. Left elbow is English. Now he flashes to the point. Curtis posting up right block. Butcher has it left wing. Rolfs steps into a 3 but does not shoot it. crosses over left to right, ball below his knees. He has a mismatch against Martini, but he does not have the speed to blow by him. Johnson against Curtis. English catches against Fullerton. Butcher left wing. Elkamil sells the up fake, has English, and the goose has been cooked. It's too late now as English draws the foul. 2:19 to go in the fourth. 59-54 the score. Dragons up 5. And English did a good job of reading where Elkamil was going and crashed, caught, and went right into Brett Fullerton as he picks up his first and the team's third. Even better play by Elkamil to go with the head fake and get Arkell Smith off the floor. English's free throw does not fall. Coach Ray saying to help defensively and also help on the box out against Curtis, and Fullerton would have to box out against English. Second free throw falls through though. The Dragons on the night 3 of 4 shooting from the line. 60-54 the score. PHS leads by 6. O'Malley telling Smith to flash to the right wing or deeper to the right corner. He does not do that. He was looking away, trying to tell Martini where to go. Smith comes up to the top of the key, tries to shoot a 3, and I don't know where that one was going. But I can tell you where it's at now. In the hands of Curtis and the Dragons. With under 2 to go, up 6. Rolfs flares, catches in the backcourt. Curtis looks. He needs somebody to come help him. Picks up his dribble. Smith right there. Elkamil wants the backcourt to clear out, but Smith comes over to defend, applying pressure. Rolfs catches right wing to Curtis. English back to the basket. Right hand ice cream scoop shot does not go. Rebounded by Martini. Has it stripped, but he still maintains the possession after Curtis and English were there harassing him. Good strength shown by Alex Martini for his 6th board of the night. And he's had the difficult task of guarding 2 of the best forwards in the SEK. Missed shot by Johnson, rebounded by Curtis, his 3rd of the night. He's been pretty quiet off the glass. He's usually averaging about 8 rebounds a game. He now only has 3. Timeout used by Coach Rolfs as there was pressure in the backcourt by Arkell Smith. 1:19 to go in the ballgame, 60-54. We have a doozy on our hands. Make sure to stick with us here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. We are back in 30 ticks.
Bittner Motors is proud to announce that it is now Pittsburgh's new dealer for the Hustler line of zero-turn lawnmowers. Hustler has manufactured its trademark yellow mower for over 50 years, with each mower being built right here in the U.S. Hustler combines the innovative American spirit with a do-it-right work ethic to produce the best line of zero-turn mowers on the market. Call Mike Bittner at 620-232-1530 or stop by today at 1018 North Broadway in Pittsburgh to check out the Hustler line of zero-turn mowers. Hustler Mowers, made in America at Bittner Motors, Pittsburgh.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
After the Coach Rolfs timeout, he has 2 full timeouts remaining. It's 1:19 on the clock, 60-54 the score. PHS, day 2 of the 2018 Border Classic at home, lead it against the Carthage Tigers. Avi Sharma, Shelby White back at our KSHQ studio. Cam Molina with you. Left wing, Butcher. He finds Rolfs at the point, who rotates a right wing to Elkamil. Elkamil reverses back out, and it's a 1-2-1 zone shown by Carthage, but it is extended to where the right corner comes out to trap at the top of the key, and Butcher is fouled, I think, by Smith. It will be O'Malley. And a timeout used on the floor by Coach Ray, but I think I may have inaccurately described the zone. It's more of a 2-1-2 zone where the wing comes out to help the point man trap whoever is at the top of the key, and then the middle man, he kind of has free reign of the entire key and free throw line, because if a player dribbles to the corner, that block player who's defending will have to slide out and trap in whatever corner it's in. So a risky move by Coach Ray, but you have to at this point in time, Avi. 55 seconds to go, down 6. You need to force a turnover.
Yeah, the clock is against you, Cam. 55 on there. The offense of Coach Rolfs is there. They're just going to take their time. If you're going to bring the two up court press there, they're just going to find the wide open guy to pass it around, and PHS is in no hurry.
Curtis inbounds from the far sideline. He has Butcher in the backcourt, and that will alleviate some stress from Butcher as he rips past O'Malley in a foul. 15th foul committed by the Tigers. They have 2 more to give.
Nothing wrong with that foul by O'Malley at all.
3rd on O'Malley, and that stops the clock. with 52 seconds to go. And I think the Tigers want to force the Dragons into the front court where they can trap instead of having it in the back court. Rolfs wheels in front of Curtis, but again, it's Butcher in the backcourt. O'Malley defending, very aggressive, and another foul. I don't think Coach Ray wanted that one because that's the 16th foul.
O'Malley's fourth, too.
O'Malley's fourth, and he's a good shooter as he's 4-4 from the floor, 3-3 from deep. O'Malley subs out, and no more fouls to get for either side. And another inbound for Curtis towards the far sideline. And Coach Rolfe saying, let's go immediately into power. And again, that's kind of the 4-out, 1-in set, or the baseline set that the Dragons run. Curtis scans, good delivery to Elkamil as he rips through from left to right. And the Tigers will foul 3 consecutive times. And Coach Ray is banking on the 1-and-1s not going in and their 3-point shooters taking over. And I know we talked about the gamble with the 2-1-2, but this is even a bigger gamble. Instead of letting the defense try to play out an offensive sequence and come up with a turnover, Coach Ray is trying to conserve clock and hope that the Dragons do not convert their free throws. Elkamil with his first shots of the night, his first free throw goes. He'll have a second opportunity awaiting him. He has 17 right now, a chance at 18 here. In reality, I guess you can think of it from this prism, Avi. You save like 15, 20 seconds when you're trying to force a turnover and concede 2 points compared to, the 55 seconds to 47 seconds, which is only about a 7 or 8 second difference. Left corner, Johnson airballs the 3, and that's the difficulty with trying to run that, is that you have to rely on your 3-point shooters. Elkamil, good defense, forced the air ball, and with 31 seconds to go, 18 foul committed by the Tigers. Arkell Smith picks up his third, and Elkamil right back to the free throw line. Oh, excuse me, it's on Martini. I didn't see Martini anywhere. Oh, no, Fullerton, excuse me. I am a bumbling dummy currently, and I apologize. 2 fouls on Fullerton now, 18th foul. Elkamil goes to the stripe with his white Nikes and flares out his left foot. First free throw on the 1-and-1 swirls out. So the door's still open with 30 ticks to go, but Smith and company need to work fast. Smith needs to pull up. He goes inside the horseshoe instead. Right-hand shot goes. 62-54 and a timeout used by Coach Ray. A full timeout. 21.8 seconds left in the fourth quarter of play. And again, 62-56 to score. It's a 6-point contest following the Smith lay-in. So still an opportunity to hit 2 3-pointers, but the fouls are really going to have to roll in the favor of the Tigers. And Gavin Elkamil, who's just 2 of 3 on the night now, English, who's 1 of 2, and Austin, who's 2 of 2, are the only Purple Dragons players who have shot from the stripe tonight. So it's a small sample size, but Coach Ray is banking on those missed free throws. And if they roll his way, O'Malley, Johnson, and Smith and Fullerton all need to be squared up and ready to shoot as the ball hits their hand.
Yeah, I agree, Cameron. There is no time to waste. Down by 6. It's not over, but it's looking. The clock's almost striking midnight for the Tigers right now. And, you got to tip your hats off to them, though. They're playing really well. They played a great team. They're hanging in there. I think this is a very capable team doing some good things.
Well, Huntley comes in for O'Malley still. And I think the game plan here is to have Huntley foul.
Yes.
Regardless of who catches it.
I agree.
As he has not committed any fouls. Curtis to inbound. Scans. Prospects. Has Butcher. Huntley fouls. His first, the team's 9th. Butcher with some primetime free throws. And the senior can really build up his reputation here and probably get some pats on the back when he comes to school Monday. Still a contest tomorrow, though, at Saturday against the winner of the Olathe Northwest Blue Valley Northwest game. Butcher misses the 1-1. 62-56 the score. Fullerton attacks baseline. Johnson open left corner, does not shoot it. Takes a hop step. English with an emphatic block. And that should do it with 9.6 ticks remaining. Johnson and Fullerton with looks. I don't understand why Johnson passed up the open left corner three. 10th team foul. English to the line. A pretty good free throw shooter for being 6'7". And I think this is it. Coach Rolfs telling Butcher and Elkamil go ahead and go into the backcourt to await the three-point shooters. English sets, waist level, free throw, good. It's 2 of 3 right now, and does the D'Angelo Russell ice in the vein expression where he held out his left forearm and then used his right hand to notion to his veins. 3 of 4 from the stripe, 23 points, 8 rebounds for English. And an 8-point ball game. Tigers trail. Smith, left wing three, challenged by Curtis, air ball. Elkamil in the backcourt, that's it. And the Dragons pull out a difficult contest. The Tigers gave this top 5 team in Class 5A in the state of Kansas all they can handle. Arkell Smith, 14 points for the Tigers, tops the scores for Steve Ray. 23 for English in terms of Kylie Rolf's Purple Dragons. We'll delve deeper into this contest, give you a full comprehensive listen to the statistics tonight, as well as talk with Kylie Rolfs, head boys basketball coach of the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons. 64-56, Dragon pull away and advance to the 3:45 showcase game in the main gym between either Blue Valley Northwest or Olathe Northwest. Back in 2 minutes here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins with SEK Urgent Care. When you're sick, when you're injured, or when you just don't feel like yourself, SEK Urgent Care is here for you. Let our skilled providers treat your non-life-threatening illness or injury at a fraction of the time and cost of an ER visit. Located at the corner of Centennial and Broadway in the Meadowbrook Commons, open 7 days a week for your convenience. SEK Urgent Care, where your family and time matter. Find us fast on names and numbers.
The true test of a great insurance agency comes when you suffer a loss. It's easy to take your premiums, but Ray Ryan of Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh knows that handling your claim is the most important service an insured needs.
Claim is our chance to let the customer know that we'll be out there, not just that we sold them a policy, we'll also be there when a claim occurs to make sure it gets handled in an honest, respectable way.
Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh, a trusted choice agency. Find them fast in names and numbers.
Customer first, safety always. It's not just a tagline, it's the Watco way. By focusing on safety, each and every day they build a future by protecting their customers, team members, community, and the environment. When Watco moves commodities by rail, river, and road, at home or across North America and Australia, their priority is to ensure that they deliver their loads safely and on time. Watco wishes all area teams a safe and successful season.
At Lindbergh Pharmacy, we care about your health. From a qualified and caring staff to services like our Time My Meds and MedPack programs, Lindbergh Pharmacy provides personalized service you can count on. Refill prescriptions online at lindberghpharmacy.com or on your smartphone with our free Lindbergh Pharmacy mobile app. You can also sign up for our text alert program and we'll text or email you when your prescription is ready. Can't make it to us? We'll deliver your medications right to your door. Lindbergh Pharmacy, now 2 locations to serve you.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
We welcome you back one last time to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7, as we go through the final statistics of the Pittsburg High School boys basketball game against the Carthage Tigers. The boys, Purple Dragons, prevail 64-56 after what was a tight-knit contest. The Tigers led after one 16-13 to break it down by quarter. The Dragons led at intermission 35-29. We'll get into why they were so successful, and we'll also hear that from Coach Rolfs as well, as he will join us soon. Led by 10 after 3, and then in the fourth quarter, some good free throw conversions by Marquis English and Gavin Elkamil sealed the deal, and some excellent defense played as well on the perimeter, forcing a lot of difficult three-point jump shots. But let's quickly go through the statistics here. 6 points for Chase Curtis, 3 rebounds. A rebound for Javon Grant. including several good defensive stands. Drew Rolfe struggled tonight as he went 2 of 9 from the floor, 1 of 6 from deep, 5 points and a rebound. Gavin Elkamil, I think what you would call a bounce-back performance, Avi, as he's had a good 3-game stretch where he's just not been productive on the offensive end. He's played well all around outside of his offensive game. Don't misunderstand us or misinterpret what we are saying, but he really came out offensively and was ready to catch and shoot tonight as he hit 6 of his 11 shots from the floor, 2 of 3 from deep, en route to 18 points and 2 boards. Marquis English, an efficient 10 of 14 shooting tonight for 23 points, 8 rebounds, 3 of 4 from the stripe. And then Trenton Austin played spectacularly, notching 12 points and 3 boards. He matched his offensive output from yesterday against Carl Junction, but gave the Dragons big minutes when English was in foul trouble, and then Curtis too. Isaac Leverins was not called on in this contest, and I think that kind of speaks to Trenton Austin coming in and doing a lot of the heavy lifting and providing the Dragons with a good 4th or 5th option to turn to offensively. And as for the Tigers, Arkell Smith, 14 points, 2 rebounds. He led all Tiger scorers. O'Malley, 13 points. Chase Johnson with 11. 6 points for Alex Martini, including 6 rebounds. And Brett Fullerton, 10 points, 2 rebounds. And Oscar Campa, who played all of about a minute and a half, wrapped it up with 2 points of his own. The difference in the stat sheet, +8 for the Dragons off the glass. The Tigers were +2 from the free throw line, including +6 in attempts. The Tigers took 5 less three-point attempts and made just as many threes as the Dragons, each sinking 5. And the Tigers, if we are going to equate that into a percentage, shot 41% from deep, which is a really good mark. The Dragons 29% from downtown. A good percentage for the Dragons on the floor, as inside the horseshoe they notched 66%. And we are now joined by Pittsburg High School boys basketball coach Kylie Rolfe. Coach, I think this game, the theme of it was really about adjustments in the first quarter. Down 3 points, but you noticed that the Tigers defense really huddled inside and were trying to stymie some of your bigs down low. And what I would call a 4-out 1-in set, you started to turn to that, brought Marquis English out, had Curtis run the baseline and post up, and that really helped you. Can you just touch on the changes you made offensively from the second quarter onwards?
Well, there wasn't a ton of changes. I thought what really helped us was our increase in intensity on the defense. We picked up our pressure defensively. We got turnovers, and that led to some good momentum type things on the offensive end, and we got the ball to the rim and really attacked. And I thought our defense kind of keyed that there for a while. We got them to turn it over several times, and that led to some things that we got there in the paint that allowed us to get back in the game. I thought they were rattled there for a little bit. And I say that, and I'm going to tip my cap because I thought they were a very well-prepared team. Coach Ray had them ready to go, and I thought, that's what a semifinal game and a good tournament is supposed to look like. And, it was a good high school basketball game. We had both teams were fighting and clawing, and fortunately we were able to come out on top in the end.
We talked about him yesterday, Gavin Elkamil, and what you said really stuck with me about how many perceive, especially the media nowadays, how points equates to talent. But yeah. Gavin Elkamil did a great job scoring tonight. He put on 18. He was ready to catch and shoot. Can you just touch on his performance tonight?
Well, you just said it. I mean, and he kept doing the things that he has been doing, and he got in a rhythm tonight. And good players, that's going to happen. I mean, guys that can shoot the ball aren't going to keep shooting the ball poorly. But what they do need to do when they are shooting the ball poorly is keep doing all the other little things. And I thought he had been doing those. And when a guy's doing that, they're eventually going to get good things to happen. And that's what happened. He had a good rhythm tonight.
Coach, there was foul trouble once again tonight. Marquis English had 3 midway through the second quarter. Trenton Austin stepped up big. Can you talk about his development this season?
Well, you're right. He stepped up big tonight. He's really been playing well. He's had a lot of good practices here lately. Been playing well in the JV games when he plays in those games. And tonight, last couple nights, he's gotten extended minutes because of that stuff, and he's made the most of it. He's really done a good job.
Coach, you're getting ready to scout the teams tonight between Blue Valley Northwest and Olathe Northwest. I know you had a little bit of time to look at tape, so won't keep you too much longer. 8 minutes left until tip-off, but again, congratulations on the 64-56 victory against Steve Ray and the Tigers.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Once again, that was Kylie Rolfe, head boys basketball coach of Pittsburg High School. Another victory, 8 on the season after losing back-to-back midway through the year and going to 3-2 on the year. Has been a good 5-game stretch for the Dragons, taking down some league opponents and then knocking down some non-league opponents. And Avi tonight, the win against Carthage kind of exemplified how the season has been. You know, there are some rough patches in some games, but the resiliency of this team continues time in and time out to be more prominent than the mistakes.
Yeah, Cameron, this team's getting better and better, and that's scarier for the teams in the rest of the SEK, because once these guys get on their complete rhythm, it's going to be tough to stop. You know, you got Rolfs as the sharpshooter, you got El Camille who can do it all. I couldn't tell you enough how well Marquis English played, and then Grant and Austin coming off the bench. These guys are talented all around, just a great group of kids that Coach Rolfs has. And you know, you were talking to Coach Rolfs, and he just seemed gassed. Like he loved this matchup, but man, he is tired. He enjoyed this win. But Cameron, it's not over. Tomorrow we got a championship in the consolation, and then we got a championship for the whole big thing tomorrow.
Yeah, I think Coach Rolf exhaled because he was just tired of us. We talk a lot. I talk a lot.
That is
I
also
talk
the
a lot.
case.
And just as we're doing right now, we are rambling on. But with that, we will close out tonight. The Pittsburg High School girls basketball team tops Wichita West 62-46. They will play tomorrow in the consolation bracket of the girls' side at 1:15 against Blue Valley Northwest, and what will be an 1:30, and what will be an extremely competitive game. And as for the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons, it will be a matchup at 3:15 between the winner of Blue Valley Northwest and Olathe Northwest. Due to some conflicts of scheduling, Pittsburg State University will be on here, ESPN 100.7. We will be on a separate station, and we will deliver that on Twitter on our main account as soon as we can, and also post the links tomorrow for both live streams, or rather the one live stream, as the girls will be playing tomorrow in the auxiliary gymnasium, much like they did today. So it will be a radio-only broadcast as of now for the girls' game, as they will take on Blue Valley Northwest again. And the boys' game will be a live stream in the main gymnasium for the cap-off of the 2018 Border Classic.
So what you're saying is the world has to find out from Mike Snow to determine what's going on tomorrow?
It's better than Eddie Lomchek, who tweets once a year. And with that, we will sign off. Eddie Lomchek will be with you tomorrow as Pitt State basketball plays. And from Avi Sharma, Shelby White back at our KSHQ studio, I'm Cam Molina. Have fun, be safe. Tomorrow we will be live at approximately 1:15. So join us here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.